please, get a job.
No, but they have jobs.
No, they have to work multiple jobs.
There's a million job openings in this country.
Life is so
get a job.
Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, and the other members of The View found the notion that Gen Z and younger people are worried about their economic future to be hilarious. Ana Kasparian and Cenk Uygur on the Young Turks broke all this down. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
This generation, in defense of Gen Z, they're not hitting the milestones the way every generation before them did. They're owning homes at a lower rate. This is wild. 45% of people between ages 18 to 29 still live with their parents. They feel left behind by the economy, and they also see everybody trying to not age. So
please, get a job.
No, but they have jobs.
No, they have to work multiple jobs.
There's a million job openings in this country.
Life is so
get a job.
For any member of Gen Z, any of you Zoomers who might be watching this, if you feel left behind by the economy, The View's Joy Behar thinks that you need to quit your whining and just get a job. Now, interestingly enough, according to data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, a lot of Gen Zers do in fact have jobs. Now, who falls under the category of Gen Z? Well, it's people born between 1997 and 2012. So some of them are literally not old enough yet to have a job, but a lot of them who are old enough do in fact have jobs. Gen Z is more likely to work multiple jobs, 25% of them in fact, than the average professional, 16% according to McKinsey.
So, hey, good news, Joy, they listened. They have multiple jobs. That's not the issue. The issue is how much do their jobs pay compared to what they used to pay when you were coming up? How much do other things cost, like houses, as opposed to when you were coming up, student debt, as opposed to when you were coming up? Keep it real, Joy. And by the way, Joy used to be big time progressive. She then felt like she's like moving over to moderate / establishment Democrat. But that get a job is like right out of the Republican playbook.
Let's go to graphic 3 here. The current labor force participation rate among Gen Zers ages 20 to 24 is 71%, roughly 4 percentage points lower than millennials and 6 percentage points lower than Gen X when they were in the same age range. So I got a Gen Xer sitting next to me right now. Apparently you guys worked a little harder than millennials.
Yeah, well, look, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that we're the best generation.
Okay, but to be fair, millennials graduated into the recession in 2008. So I'm sure that played a role as well. But anyway.
But you know what I say to that? Get a job.
Okay, and by the way, I would venture to say that the other portion of the Zoomers who are not employed are probably still going through their schooling. Remember the age group or the age range I gave you was 20 to 24. A lot of people are still in college at that time. So anyway, I have a theory on all of this because I don't think that Joy Behar was annoyed at, Zoomers feeling uneasy about their economic future or feeling as though they've been left behind by the economy. I think there was something else at play because that same study that they were talking about referenced other things that Zoomers are concerned about. So let's take a look at what that is.
Apparently, Generation Z, those are the folks born between the years 1997 and 2013. They apparently are terrified about turning 30. They are panicked social media threads from 20-somethings worried about losing their stamina, sex appeal, value as they age.
Ridiculous.
And that they'll have nothing to look forward to. Other than wrinkles, health issues, and death.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's true. They should be scared.
Yeah.
Now, Whoopi Goldberg and the audience there on The View think this is hilarious that people are concerned about turning 30. The younger people are concerned about turning 30. But doesn't this happen to every generation? I don't know, maybe people 100 or 200 years ago when they only lived to be 40 years old or whatever, maybe they didn't view it as such a concern. But I think most people get a little bit concerned when they turn 30 that maybe things could go downhill. That seems like a pretty natural human reaction. So I don't really know why Whoopi Goldberg is making fun of this.
Yeah. They're correct. And no, but Whoopi, like the gaggle of gals sitting there, right? All of these older women, let's keep it real, who are laughing because they find it ridiculous. But they forget that the vast majority of people don't have cushy TV daytime jobs, right? Where they're still raking in the big bucks and they don't have to worry about their financial future. For a lot of Americans, in fact, most Americans, once you hit a certain age, if you get fired, if you're in your 50s and you lose your job, you get laid off. Do you know how difficult it is for them to find another job? Do you know how rampant age discrimination is in the workplace? So listen, it's easy for them to laugh about those fears, but those fears are real. And I would venture to say that the people who are actually out of touch are not the Zoomers who are concerned about that. It's the people sitting on that panel.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of things here. In the old days, people would, if they were anchors, would panic once they got into their 50s because they were worried they were going to get fired and more attractive men and women were going to get hired in their place.
Women, let's keep it real.
More women, but
the
men
would age. Like barely functioning, like they're freaking like drooling on themselves. But it's okay. He's a dude, so it's totally fine. But it was different for the women.
But nowadays, the TV audience is so old, no disrespect, but they're usually in their 70s, so they like women who are older, and that's why they have job security, and so they feel like, what are you talking about? Things got way better for us. We became like gazillionaires when we got older. Yeah, but that's not usually how it works, right?
As you get older, people that you love start passing away, okay? Your body does change, there's no stopping it. Right? Even all the billionaires out there who think they can stop the aging process with all their money and resources fail to do so because you can't F with nature in that way. You're gonna age. Your body doesn't function as well as it used to. Yeah, there are a lot of bad things that happen as you age.
No,
and it's okay to acknowledge that.
Of course, that's
good points from Ana Kasparian and Cenk Uygur here. When you're Whoopi Goldberg or Joy Behar or these other women on The View who are worth millions and millions of dollars, even if The View would get canceled, which would make a lot of people happy, I think, but even if The View got canceled, Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar will be fine. They could probably go and do something else. Somebody would give them a job somewhere. But even if they never got another job, they have millions and millions of dollars. And if they've been at all intelligent with their money, they would never have to work again. But like Ana Kasparian is saying here, doesn't really matter much if you're 30 or you're 50, but even in this economy where there are, supposedly all these jobs out there, if somebody loses a good job, things can be very precarious. You don't know if you're going to find another job that has benefits. And like Ana Kasparian and Cenk Uygur are saying, also, it's easy for people in the age group and the financial group of Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar to laugh at younger people because they've made it. And they also grew up in a time when education was heavily subsidized. So when they were going to school, people weren't graduating with student debt. Houses were way cheaper relative to income than what they are now. All around the country, housing prices are completely out of hand. And even a lot of people, younger people with pretty good incomes, cannot afford to buy a home. So Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar can laugh all they want, but this is the reality for millions of younger people around the country.
Okay, no, but seriously, we got a little far afield here. Back to Gen Z for one last comment, which is, look guys, the problem isn't, hey, are they all lazy? Are they all this or are they all that? As I've said many times, it's a class issue. The people who are Gen Z and work at The View or intern at The View are usually pretty rich. So you don't get to that job usually if you're poor or middle class. Very, very, very hard to break in. It's usually someone you had to go to the right colleges, blah, 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 right? So they deal with the snootiest Gen Z people in the country, the ones that don't want to work, that did grow up entitled, etc. But that's not all of Gen Z. They just don't have any interaction with the Gen Z guy who had to take the Burger King job after coming out of a good college because there were no other jobs, right? And then yelling at him to get a job doesn't help the situation.
And for people in the position that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and Sunny Hostin and these other women on The View are in, it's been so long since they've had to deal with regular issues that normal people have to deal with. When was the last time that Joy Behar or Whoopi Goldberg had to worry about paying a bill? what is it? Around half of the country can't come up with the money for a $500 or $1,000 expense. So Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar, they probably don't remember a time when their refrigerator stopped working and they thought, oh, how am I going to pay for a new refrigerator? I don't have the cash for this. I'm going to have to put this on a credit card. Or their engine in their car blew up and it's like, oh, this is going to be $1,000. Where am I going to come up with the money for that? Those are the kind of things that normal people, average people in this country, and Gen Z are dealing with all the time. Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar, those things would never even be a thought to them. They probably don't even see any of their bills. Somebody else is paying them for them. So they don't even know what their expenses are going out each month, I would venture to guess. Whereas you have about, millions and millions of people in America who are living paycheck to paycheck. You also have people of all ages in the United States that live in fear of any kind of an illness because our healthcare costs are so high in the United States, even with insurance. Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, they never have to think about that. So Ana Kasparian and Cenk Uygur are completely correct here, in my opinion, that Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, they're all out of touch. They don't know anymore. They don't know any people in their lives who are struggling and living paycheck to paycheck. So it's easy for them to make fun of Gen Z, of younger people's fears about the economic future. There are a lot of things for people of all ages, but especially Gen Z, to worry about right now. So Ana Kasparian and Cenk Uygur are completely right here. Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg and the other ladies of The View are completely out of touch, in my opinion. But what do you think? Do you agree with Ana Kasparian, Cenk Uygur, or do you think Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg are correct that Gen Z should just shut up and get a job? Make sure to give me a like and subscribe if you like this content. It helps me to grow the channel and make more content like this. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this one. I'll see you in the next video.